Okay, so we're back for a second episode of Shop Closed Podcast. I am your host, Jana Cole. I am a hairstylist, a nail tech, a salon owner. I'm a mother with children and a wife, and a caregiver to my grandfather with Alzheimer's. So that's just a little bit about me in a nutshell. And the fun fact for today is this is actually like my fourth or fifth time attempting to record this podcast. So I hope y'all learned something from it. Today I did, okay? I just had some like technical difficulties. Now I understand technical difficulties for real, okay? Today's episode is what they don't teach you in hair school and what's the plan. Disclaimer, I am not a tax advisor. I'm not a CPA, an insurance agent. I'm not a stockbroker or any of those things. I just wanted to have a conversation. I encourage you to do your own research and make your own educated decisions. I wonder how many of us hairstylists, nail techs, barbers, lash techs, estheticians, I wonder how many of us have an IRA or a retirement plan, a savings plan. How many of us have medical insurance? How many of us have a rainy day fund, an emergency fund, or even know how to budget our income? Do we know how to balance our checkbooks? Like, this is something that I wish that beauty schools taught, and I wish it was required in the curriculum. When we finish school, we should be leaving with more knowledge than how to do a finger wave or a fiberglass nail. I feel that they teach you everything so that you could boss up your life, everything that you need to know to pass the state board, but don't actually teach you how to be a boss and be a successful entrepreneur. And we deserve that. Some of us are getting to that age where we're thinking about retirement and not knowing what retirement is going to look like for us. A lot of us are like, oh shit, it's almost that time. And most of us do not want to work behind the chair for another 50 years or so, but we also don't have a plan to get from behind the chair. So let's talk about it. We beauty professionals work a very unorthodox way. The way we get paid is daily most of the time. Yes, we take deposits, but for the most part, you get your pay every day. Unless you're commission, you might get paid every week or 2 weeks, which might be easier, but it'd probably be easier to manage. I think it was for me. But most of us, it's day to day. And it's like, what do you do with it? Well, you do what you need to do for the day, and then whatever's left over is whatever's left over. Some of you may have multiple streams of income. You have digital products, or you have investment properties, or you work another job. I ain't mad at you, because I too had that life. And I mean, there was a point where I worked like three jobs. Like, I was working for a hospital, and that was like 8 to 5. And then when I got off at 5, I had to clock in at another hospital and actually work like 6 p.m. to 7. Then had to be back at my 8 o'clock job. It was crazy. And then I would be like sleeping under the desk on my breaks and stuff like that. So I ain't no shame. If you got another job, it is what it is. Get your money. But do you have a savings plan? Do you have an IRA, a 401k? I'm asking genuinely because I want to know what some of you are. If you do have that, what are you using? How did you learn about it? And what do you know about it? Because I genuinely don't know anything about it. But I know that our lives are not like the regular 9-to-5 corporate people. And we don't have those things set up for us. And I would like to learn more about it. I did find a few things that I'm going to share with you all today. I found it on YouTube, and I do have like 3 books I have been sitting on that I'm going to read this week, and I'm going to have a part 2 of this episode. So like I said, we get paid daily, and that's just how we live our life on a day-to-day business from dollar to dollar. Not all of us, but I'm sure a big handful of us do. And that's just due to lack of knowledge, not knowing how to save and how to spend our money. And listen, I've tried to do like investment before, or I've tried to get set up for it, but it just sounded like a bunch of gibberish. I didn't understand the language, and it sounded really hard to do, and it sounded like it was going to take a lot of money to do. So that's something that I want to get to the bottom of, and I will have an answer for you all this week, and I will be coming with another episode so we can have some concrete stuff that we can go off of. But I do have some things that you can go off of today and get started without me. So I remember one time, it was back in 2018, I called Merrill Lynch, and that's because they were like, you know how when you're logging out of your bank, they have like an ad or something for something that you could check out, all these like benefits of banking with them and other things that they offer, other products, and one of them was Merrill Lynch, and it's like, get your investment set up today or whatever, start saving. And so when I called, and I'm like, you know, I'm one of those that's an entrepreneur. I am like a sole proprietor, and I don't get a direct deposit, so no, I'm not going through a corporation. It just sounded like they really didn't have anything for me. But he's like, well, yeah, there is something, but it sounded like he said it takes $5,000 to get that started. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of that yet, because all I know is I heard $5,000, and it's like, I'll get back to you because I ain't got it right now. And really today, I don't really have that set. I don't really have that $5,000 set aside to put towards like a retirement or for an emergency or something. I just get through life the way I get through life, and that's just how I've always done it. But I really am changing that at my old age. So it's like, what now? Yeah, this is a hard conversation to have, but I feel like we need to have it. I know there's so much on our plate already, and we already have enough to deal with. We already are trying to run our business. We are running our businesses, and we are bringing in new clients every week, and that's really the focus, is to keep the money flowing. When do we have, and then now you got to post on social media 3 times a day, and you got to post on this and that, and then you got to, follow up with your loyals, and then you got to worry about keeping the lights on at home, and then you got to make sure you got dinner cooked for tonight, just stuff like that. And it's like, it's a lot, and it's overwhelming, and now you're asking me to do something else and be responsible for something else. But guess what? Ain't nobody got us. Nobody is doing that for us. We are responsible for these things. We are responsible for making sure that we have our documents ready when it's time to file our taxes. It is so much, but I am ready to just get to the bottom of it and make sure that structure is there in my business, and some kind of system is set up to where I am on the right path and just don't feel like I'm hustling backwards. So what I found out, and it was on YouTube University, y'all. So, and I am gonna link this channel. These were very short videos. They were like less than 10 minutes, maybe like an 8-minute video or something like that. There were 2 of them. And the first one was talking about like on the personal side of investing into a retirement plan. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not even getting into stocks and bonds right now. Maybe later, y'all, but right now I don't have it in me. I just want to set up like a traditional retirement plan. So what I heard was there's a Roth plan and there's a traditional IRA. But it depends on your income situation on which one you would qualify for, or which one you would need to choose. I think this one that I'm talking about, there was a couple talking on this channel, and the lady was saying that you could contribute up to 7,000 over a course of a year. That's how much you can contribute within a year. There is like a cap on how much you can put into your retirement plan every year. And if you're over 50, you can contribute an extra 1K, and there's something called the catch-up plan or something like that. I don't know, but I need y'all to do your research. Listen to the whole video and you'll get it. If you want to learn more about that, I'll have it linked in my comments. And then there was something that they talked about, small business owners, and some of the options were defined benefit plan for high earners, and then there's an SEP IRA. Both of these sound, and they said like might be easy to set up, but it's hard to get started as far as I think funding the accounts. Another thing I heard was a solo 401k, which is a high contribution and harder to establish. In another video, I also found that it's no longer 5K that you contribute. You can actually max out at 7K a year. So when he said that, something clicked, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're talking about over a course of a year, this is what we can contribute. And I also heard that, like, if you're setting up something for like an individual business owner, a sole proprietor, or a single member LLC, I believe that they said that you can contribute up to 20% of your profits. So if you were to make 100K this year, you could contribute 20,000. If you made 100K, you could contribute 20% of that 100K. Whatever your profits was, you can contribute that. So that's what they said in that. And then there was talks about a solo and some other stuff, but just do your own research and make sure you make it your business to come up with some kind of retirement plan, even if it's just like a savings plan. I would say I'm going to start with looking into a traditional IRA for starters. Just look into it, research, and see if it's something that you can do right now. If not, then table it for another couple months. We only got like 3-4 months left in this year, and we'll be going into another year with nothing. So let's just get started on it. Check out the links in my description to watch the short videos, and you will go down a rabbit hole, because after you see one, you'll see another. And just be careful of who you're listening to, and do your own research. Figure out how much you want to contribute, how much you want to save, and what kind of fees are associated with those different accounts and options, and just go from there. I'm sure your mind is probably spinning by now, because I know mine is, but I kind of like stuff like this when it comes to like the business stuff. I kind of like computers, techie stuff, and I've gotten away from it, but I'm getting back into it, and it's kind of fun. I got a few books that I'm going to go through, and I like learning anyway, so I could be a career student if we were up to it, if I could get paid for it. But then let's talk about budgeting, because that comes into play too. Like, all of these go into the same equation, right? Because you need to be able to budget your money so that you can have enough left over to save, so that you can have enough to contribute to your retirement plan. So, and that's the goal for me, at least, is to have a retirement plan. If you already have one, please put it in the comments and let me know what you're working with, because I want to know. Maybe I'm just, you know what, sometimes I am a little slow, but sometimes I'm just like, I live under a rock, and I'm just going through life like la-di-da, like Ezel, God rest his soul. Anyway, so there are a couple of people that I found on IG this week that I have kind of gone down a rabbit hole with, and I have just really been intrigued with the content that they're leaving about budgeting. And they're literally taking people's situations and showing them how to navigate it. So like, for instance, somebody will say, well, I make this much, X amount, I make $3,000 a month, but my bills are this, and this. They're literally writing it down on Instagram and showing you what to put towards what, and how much you'll have left over, and what you need to do. So I think that's pretty cool. So if you need some help with budgeting, I would check out on Instagram Ash All About Money, and another girl I saw doing it was Black Girl Credit. I've really been spending a lot of time on Ash All About Money. Ash is ASH, All About Money. And the other girl is Black Girl Credit. We got to get it together, y'all. Finances has not been an easy thing to talk about. It's not very common in households, or maybe it was in yours, but it's not in mine, about saving money and having a retirement plan. And, you know, none of that was really discussed in my household. And I don't think it was discussed in a lot of our homes. I'm trying to be in my booked, busy, and balanced era, and I'm headed in that direction, y'all. So a lot of us are living like week to week, day to day. We live like dollar to dollar, and that's okay, you know, if that's working for you. But I would just say it's okay to change that as well. But don't be ashamed of where you're at, because that's pretty much where I am. But what I'm doing right now is just recording everything that comes in, and I'm just figuring out how to divvy that up through everything, and then how to put some away, because I'm feeling like I should really put some away first, and then whatever's left over, put it towards everything else. My motto is change what you don't like, period. And that is what I'm doing in my life. If you know something when it comes to, if you're like really good at this, or if you already have some things set up, please don't gatekeep. Sharing is caring. And you don't have to give people the whole blueprint to what you did and how you did it and how much you got and stuff like that. But don't be afraid to point people in the right direction, because you could, I mean, just share your gifts. If you know something, you know something, and feel free to share. But I'm just saying that my advice, well, I won't say advice, I'm not advising you to do anything, but I would just say this is what helped me. I stopped online shopping. I cut off my debit card and canceled my subscriptions, and I just let the money just flow in, and I really minimized what was going out. And the way I did that was by giving myself a cash allowance every week. I would get enough for gas and enough for food for the week, and then everything else, you know, was in the bank. And if I needed money for like a bill or something like that, they would have to get it, you know, through the checking. It wasn't a card or anything that I was using, but that way I really was able to see more of my money. Turn off that Amazon app and turn off that DoorDash app, and you will see how much you can save. Because I went back through my months, and it will make you cry. It will make you angry once you see how much you spent in fast food. Like, I spent like $2,000 some months just in DoorDash, and I'm just like, what? But you know what? I know someone else on IG was saying they spent like seven. Was it 7? I think it was 7. That's I mean, it is so easy to do. It's just a click of a button. But anyway, we want to have a healthy savings, and we want to have a healthy retirement. We want to be able to travel and enjoy life when, you know, when it's time to step from behind that chair. And I think the time is now. If you haven't already, the time is now. Currently, I'm just doing like inventory in my house and in my salon, and just going through everything that I feel like I need. What we use on a weekly basis, like how much detergent we're using, you know, how long it takes us to get through that. Paper towels, I'm actually looking to like transition into the microfiber towels, which are reusable. So then I would cut back on the paper towel cost. Now tissue, we can't do nothing about that, baby. We got to have our tissue. But just little things like that, I think, will make a big difference. And then you'll see a bigger balance at the end of the month, and then you'll have some money to save, and I'm sure it'll put a smile on my face. But it's just small steps like that that I am taking towards my future. And I'm not talking about working on a 2-person income, because I am married now. I am kind of still in that habit of like just I'm just going off of my finances. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not including my husband's in this. I'm just going off of my finances and what I take care of, and I'm just going from there. Before I was married, this is what I was doing, and I just really haven't changed it. Like, it's a little better now, but I don't know. I'm just trying to do better. But anyway, just to get off of that, let me just real quick talk about insurance. Now, first, okay, you have your business insurance, and then there's a medical insurance, and I think we need all of that. First of all, you need to protect your investment. You need to have some insurance on your polishes, your hair curlers, your equipment, your shampoo bowl, your styling chair, everything that you own. You need to have insurance on that. It's really not that expensive. I have it, and I've had it for several years. I didn't even know that it existed, that I could have business insurance, because I thought, since I'm not a big corporation, that's just not something that was out there for me. That's just how I thought. Like, I didn't know. Nobody told me. I really don't know how I stumbled upon it. I want to say that I was just looking stuff up one day, and it came up. I actually wasn't looking for that. It was a name. You know what? I was looking for, I used to use Acuity Scheduler for my appointments, for my hair appointments. And when I typed in Acuity, it actually took me to Acuity for small businesses, which was like an insurance thing. And I was just like, what is this? And so then I just went down a rabbit hole with that. And that's how I figured out, oh, there's business insurance for small business owners. So I got me some. I signed up with them, and that's where it all started. Since then, I have moved to a local company, and they are called Prime Big. So you go to www.primebig.com, and one of the agents will reach out to you and get you set up for your business insurance. That I am in Tennessee, and so I don't know who all they service, but that's just if you're in Tennessee and you're looking for insurance for your business. And it also covers like professional and liability is what it's called, professional and liability insurance. So, if you have a client that were to get hurt, or if you would to hurt a client, a chemical or slip and fall and something like that, there's like medical insurance coverage and everything for that. And also, like, if there were a fire or something like that, your equipment were to be damaged or stolen and stuff like that, there's coverage for that. And you decide on how much you want to have in that insurance. But real quick, before I go, I wanted to speak about the medical side of the insurance. Before I was married, I struggled with insurance. Like, my boys always had it, but I didn't have it. And then it was so hard for me to get approved for insurance. So first I tried to get it through the state. Here we have something called TennCare, so that's government insurance. I don't know if that's Medicare or Medicaid, but I was denied 7 times before I was actually able to get that insurance. So before I was able to get that, I had something called, I think I got Blue Cross. I can't remember what I had for dental, but I found like some insurance for self-employed, and I got that and kept it for as long as I could. It was expensive, but at least I had insurance, because who wants a big hospital bill? So that's that. I encourage you to look into that. If you don't have insurance, you can go to I want to say it's the Marketplace, and it's at healthcare.gov, and you can look at different plans for yourself. If you're self-employed, they do have plans out there for that. And if you're looking for some tax advice, we didn't really talk about taxes, but this lady came to mind with all of this talking. Her name is Jennifer, and her Instagram page is at the hair CEO _. It's the hair CEO _. And I hope you all learned something today or were murdered. I'm so sick. First of all, I'm tired. And you can probably hear it in my voice. It's getting raspy. Y'all, this is my 5th time recording. I hope y'all learned something today, or you were either, motivated to do something for yourself or for your business. I wish you very well in your business and in life. Before I go, I want to show you these 3 books that I'm going to be reading over this week. They're really small, so it shouldn't take me long as I stay focused, because I do only work weekends now, so I should be able to get through these fairly quickly. The first one is Budgeting 101. And I got this from Barnes & Noble, but I have a link that I have attached to this podcast. The second one is Profit First for Salons. Profit First for Salons. And I ordered that as well, and I have a link for you on that. And the last one I also got at Barnes & Noble, and that is The Wealth Decision by Dominique Broadway, and I can't wait to read it. And this one discusses 10 simple steps to achieve financial freedom and build generational wealth. And the one about Budgeting 101, that one talks about getting out of debt and tracking expenses to setting financial goals and building your savings. And it's your essential guide to budgeting. So it talks about wiping out your credit card debt and don't buy into social pressures, don't live up to your income, a basic budget equation, how to track everything you budget. It actually gives you a 50-30-20 budget. So what part goes to needs, what part goes to wants, and what part goes to savings. I think it's pretty good. So I want to finish all of these this week. And please like, follow, share, subscribe to the Shop Closed podcast. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I am your host, Jen Nicole, and I'm out. Peace.